Hello and welcome to this edition of our Enterprise Development Seminar. We'll continue with our series on how to build a lucrative business or career in tech without learning to code. And we're also showing how you can even get paid doing that. Okay, you are getting paid to learn. Okay, very interesting. So today we're going to cover an aspect that anybody, literally anybody, can get started with. Okay, so let's take our opening prayer, then we go into the training session. Dear God, I ask for an outpouring of your rain upon the business and career in which I have offered my work as an act of worship to you. By your spirit of wisdom and revelation, fill my mind with divinely inspired thoughts and strategies that will empower me for supernatural productivity and extraordinary success in all that I do. Open the heavens and grant me insights, concepts, and ideas that will place a clear distinction upon my work through the uniqueness of my products and services. In addition to this, Father, I ask for the rain of your favor upon every work I have ever rendered. I ask that this rain of favor will cause the voice of my work to be heard on the streets and in palaces, that men and kings will be drawn unto me, and by these my work generates great surplus. I ask that kings will hear of the excellent spirits your reign has produced in me, and they will open great doors and grant opportunities unto me. Okay, so today we're talking about content development, which is a very important aspect of tech that many people don't pay attention to. If you've tried to apply for Tech Nation visa, for example, those that want to leave Nigeria or whatever country you are in and maybe want to relocate to the UK, you will find that one of the aspects that you can apply to is content. Okay, you don't necessarily have to be somebody that writes code or that is a programmer. Okay, if you are working in the tech industry and you are developing content for the tech industry, for example, and you have proofs, you have evidence, you have people that will write recommendations for you and all of that, you get in, just to let you know, just to emphasize the fact that content is a very important aspect of tech, and you don't need to learn how to code before you can develop content. Those that are building websites, those that are building applications, they need content, okay? And those people, they need content that can engage the users, okay? Even preparing the manual, okay? Some of those applications or solutions, we have a user manual, okay? That is technical writing. But what we're saying is that content drives a lot of things in tech. And now going outside of tech per se, remember that we said it's not about tech in itself. Tech in itself is not, it does not have any value. Tech in itself does not have any value. It is the solutions you can create with tech, okay, that actually create value. So what problems can you solve? How are you making life easier or better for people? How can you help them do what they are doing faster? How can you help them achieve their desired outcomes? Okay, how can you improve the lives of people? How can you help businesses make more money, save time, win more clients? Do you understand? So the point is to find out what are people trying to achieve, and how can I use tech, okay, to help them achieve it. Okay, so now everybody that has a business is trying to grow their business. Some people don't know how. Some people don't even have a strategy, and there are different ways to grow a business, but you need to have a strategy to grow your business. Now, one of the strategies for growing businesses is content development, or you can say content marketing. Now, if you are going to do content marketing, you need content to drive it. And every form of marketing these days needs some form of content. Every form of marketing. Think about it. Okay, whether you are going on TV, whether you are going on social media, wherever, you need some form of content. And there are some people that are developing content regularly, like those that maybe they have training sessions, they hold sessions on Zoom, okay, maybe pastors or speakers, that they are always releasing valuable content. But at the end of the day, you get to a point as a content creator where you start feeling that, oh, you could get more value from your content, which is true. Okay, and one of the ways to get more value from content is to put it in multiple formats. Okay, but most of the content creators, they don't have that time, or they don't have the skill, one of the two. Some of them don't have the time, some of them don't have the skill, some of them don't have both. They just want to, put out their content and maybe preach a sermon, for example, or hold a training session, and all of that. But that same training session, if you hold a training session, for example, like even what we're doing right now, you can convert that training session to a book. I remember hearing Pastor Matthew Ashimolowo, how he talked about, he said every sermon that he preaches, every sermon that he preaches is a book or part of a book. Okay, so he preaches his sermons in series, so that at the end of the day, he transcribes, those sermons, and then a certain number of sermons become a book. So he's getting more value from his sermons, one. Then he's putting the sermons in a permanent form. Most of us, we go to church, and this applies, it's not just, I'm not just talking to Christians or people that go to church. This applies in other ways too. Maybe you attend a training, for example, and then we take notes. Many of us, we don't return to those notes. If you are joining the session live, type in the chat. Do you usually, like always, you return to those notes? Even when we have these trainings, I would say people should write learning journal. Many people don't return to those journals, but the fact that you even wrote it in the first place, there is something it does to your brain. There is something it does to you, help your memory, and to put in a framework, in a frame of mind, okay, that inspires you to take action. But what I'm saying is that you can actually get a lot more value from that content, okay, if you go for that to put it in a lot of useful formats. Okay, so what you can do if you want to get into tech without coding and you want to come through the route of content development, okay, is to find content creators and see how you can help them get more value, how you can use technology to help them get more value from their content. How can they make money from the content? How can they reach more people with the content? How can they create, how can they convert that content into multiple formats? Do you understand? And that is what we're going to be showing in this session. We'll have a practical demonstration. We can't cover everything, okay? That's why we have a workshop where you can join the workshop, and you will get information about the workshop on Business Mastery Club. You will also see the link to join Business Mastery Club before we finish, okay? But I'll give you something that at least you can get started with like immediately, okay? Now, but before we even move on, we need to think about the business model, okay? So how exactly do you want to convert this skill of content development? How do you want to convert it to a real business? How do you want to make money from it? What are the things you need to do? Now, many times the difference in the results you get in your business is your business model. Okay, you can be doing the same thing and have different business models. Take, for example, Uber and Bolt. They are doing the same thing. They are doing transportation, and they also have the same business model. Okay, they have people sign up on their platform. Those ones use their cars and all of that. That's a business model. The other transport companies that they have their own vehicles. Okay, they are also involved in transportation, but it's a different model. Like they own their vehicles, okay, and they have drivers that drive for them. There is one that just started operating in Ibadan, Nigeria, Africa. You can Google them or check them out on the Play Store. They have their own vehicles and they hire drivers. But the way you request an Uber ride, or the way you request a Bolt ride, is the same way you request those rides, you understand? But the business model is different. I'm just saying they are in the same business, but their results will be different based on the business model. So in the same way, before you go into content development, you need to think through, okay, so what is my business model going to be? And I will share a story with you. It's a very popular story. If you are not familiar with it, you can Google it. Story of Esau and Jacob. You'll be amazed how you can see the amazing differences between the business models here. Now, but before I share the story of, okay, let me share the story first, then I will draw out some insights that will help you to understand why I am recommending the business model I am about to recommend. We remember that when Isaac was going to die, if you don't know that story, you can Google Esau and Jacob, Isaac blessing Esau and Jacob. If you Google that, you'll get the story. Okay. Now, so Jacob was going to die. Isaac was going to die. He was about to die, and he wanted to bless his children before he died. He wanted to transfer some blessings to them and all. So now the children are Esau and Jacob. So he said, okay, give me savory meat. Okay, he called Esau. Esau was actually his favorite, and said, here, go and get me some meat, and then after I eat the meat, I'm going to bless you. It's like transferring inheritance. Okay. But even before then, there was a time. Now, Esau was a hunter. Jacob was Jacob was a shepherd. Okay. Now, but the summary of what we're saying is that you should build a business model that makes you that adopts the shepherd mindset and not the one that adopts the hunter mindset. Now, a hunter goes out. I don't want to spend a lot of time talking about the story of Esau and Jacob because I believe most people already know that. And if you don't know it, you can find out. But while Esau went to the field to look for an animal to kill for his father, Jacob, that was at home, he had already prepared, the sheep, that he took one of his sheep from his flock, and then he had already taking the blessing, okay, that Esau was supposed to take. In the same way, you don't want to be a business that every time you're always looking for clients, you're always hunting for clients, you're always going out there, oh, I need clients, what do I, and then you don't want that. You want to build a business model that gives you recurring revenue without a lot of extra work. But the problem is many people don't want to do the upfront work. Like Esau, for example, Esau just goes out. He knows that once I go out, and I walk and I look everywhere and I struggle and I search and I hide for the animals, eventually I will get an animal and I will bring it home. I'll kill it and bring it home. He knows that. So he can always go out and get something done. But it takes a lot of effort, and that effort is repeated every time. But Jacob felt, okay, let me start my business of raising animals, and then I may not get any results for the first few months, or maybe even for the first year or for the first couple of years. I'm just going to start raising the animals. But after a while, those animals will start to reproduce. Okay, they will start to reproduce, and then I'll keep having more and more and more with just a little more effort. Do you understand? So in the same way, and this is not just for content development, it's for business in general and other things we're going to cover. Okay, so you should try to see every business that you're doing. How can you integrate a business model that will give you recurring revenue? That is one. Then secondly, instead of offering just products, okay, I'm selling this, I'm selling that, okay, or just a single service, you should look into offering productized services. Okay, that means you have some services that you have now packaged together into a product. So you tell people, when you get this package, okay, I give you this, I give you this, I give you this, I give you that. You understand? Okay, so for example, now instead of, if you are going to content development, instead of saying that, okay, I'm a graphic designer, I'm going to design graphics for you, I'm going to take your teaching sessions or your trainings, and then I'll create graphics from those sessions and all of that. Instead of saying that, you can offer personal branding services. Okay, personal branding services, and then you make it a productized service. So that means you now have different products. For example, you can have beginner. You can say that you have 3 packages: beginner, advanced, professional. I'm just saying this off the top of my head. Now you have to think through those things and decide, okay, what packages do you want to have? You can also say that, okay, for beginner model, every time, every week, maybe there's someone that releases training sessions every week, or maybe a pastor that teaches every week, and you want to help that pastor know that, okay, at least every year you are going to get 2 books. You're going to get 2 books from your teaching sessions or from your sermons. Okay, now you can now create packages and say that, okay, this package will get you 2 books every year. Okay, this package will get you 1 book every quarter. Then, okay, it covers graphics, it covers layouts and formatting. Okay, cover design. Okay, then you have 10 shareable codes that you can use to promote the book. Then every week, okay, after you preach a sermon, there will be a blog post. Okay, from your sermon, we publish that on your website, on your blog. You see how we are bringing a lot of things together now, and then you put those things into packages. Those are some of the things we're going to go into the details of how exactly do you do these things. We're going to show you some examples of our own packages and all of that during the workshop. Okay, and the online business bootcamp also, because we're going to show all of those things. All the information about all of these things will be posted on Business Mastery Club. Okay, so but I'm just showing you that you don't sell a product as a standalone or a service as a standalone. You group it together. Okay, that's where you can make more money, and then people can sign up, and then they are paying you something maybe every month, or they are paying you something every quarter, or they are paying you something every year, and you are taking the stress off them. They don't have to think about, oh, I have to do this, I have to do that. You are doing everything for them. You understand? So they have the peace of mind, and then their content gets promoted. And someone said, you see, it's one of the quotes we're sharing today, like, it's not the best content that wins, okay? It is the content that is best promoted. That's why you don't hear about, people write a lot of powerful books and you may not even hear about them, but you hear about best-selling author. There is nothing like best writing author. It is best-selling author. So if you write a good book and you are not selling, then nobody, your message will not go as far as it should. And there are people that they know that, look, they have quality content and they want this content to go far. And one of the ways for your content to go far is to put it in multiple formats. You create social media content from it, you create blog posts from it, you create shareable graphics from it, you create short promotional videos from it. And all of these things are services you can use technology tools. In fact, there are artificial intelligence tools that will help you do a lot of things, okay, these days. Okay, so now you cannot have each of those products, okay, grouped together. I've given some examples of those products already, but I will make a list again just so that it will be easier for you. Now, some of the things you can have under your productized services, you can have website copy, you can have sales copy, you can create company profile for people, you can have blog posts, newsletter content, transcripts, social media content, flyers, shareable graphics, promotional videos. So you can now look at, okay, each category of clients or each kind of the target market you are looking at. What are their needs? What do they really want to achieve? So which of these items will help them achieve those results? Do you understand? Okay, if you are targeting authors, for example, you can offer manuscript development, or maybe speakers. You are targeting speakers, and the service you're offering is you want to help speakers, convert their speaking engagements or their training sessions or their sermons. You want to help them convert it into books. Now you can have a productized service package, and you call it manuscript development. Okay, manuscript development service. You can offer manuscript development service. And what are the deliverables, the specific products that you are going to offer, or the specific services, okay, that you are going to offer under your manuscript development package? One will be transcription. So that means you are going to transcribe their teachings. Okay, then you can have the writing, because the transcript itself will not become a book. Rewriting, so you rewrite that, or you get somebody else to rewrite it and you pay them, but all of those things would have been built, okay, into your service charge. Okay, then you have proofreading and editing, you have layout and formatting, you have cover design. Okay, you can have ebook publishing, and all of these things. By the time you now layer them on top of one another, you can now have a lot more value, and people can subscribe to those packages and pay you periodically. Like I said, the details, specifics, because this is something we have done for years and we're still doing, so we can show you step by step how to go about it, but we can't cover all of those things here. Well, the goal of this is to show you what is possible and get you started. You can get started. I will share a practical demonstration with you now. You can get started, but how do you now, like I always tell people, the technical skill is different from the entrepreneurial skill. Okay, so the technical skill is, okay, this is how I'm going to do it. But the entrepreneurial skill is, okay, how can I get more value, okay, from this thing that I'm doing? How can I create a real business around it? And how can the people I'm working with also, how can they get value, and all of this? It's about creating value. Okay, it's about solving problems. Okay, it's not just about, okay, this is the technology, this is the skill. You get it. So all of those entrepreneurial skills are not something that you learn in a day. And like we said in the opening session of this series, you need to learn within a context. Okay, there has to be a context. You are not just learning this here and there and putting it, there has to be a controlled environment, okay, at least when you are getting started, okay, to help you channel your resources, to help you channel your energies, to help you channel even the way you practice. You are not just practicing or how things that are not relevant, but you are working on real life projects. Okay, so those are some of the opportunities you get, okay, from participating in the workshop, because after each workshop, we have a whole month, okay, where we give you real life projects to work on. You get paid based on the quality of what you turn in and all of that. Okay, so but now let me just demonstrate. If you want to get started with content development today and you don't even have any skill in it, how can you get started? So I'm going to share some tools and some examples with you. But like I said, this is just the tip of the iceberg. Now let's say that you want to you've identified someone that creates a lot of content and you want to offer your services to them. Okay, now this is my YouTube channel, for example. So let's say I want to make a book from this, why your CV will not get you a job and what to do about it. Now this is I've opened this now. It's a Zoom session. It's a training I had on Zoom. Okay, I was invited to speak, and then we had this training. Now, this is something that you can convert into a book, and it will help a lot of people. Now, this video is just there; it's not getting as much value as it could get. So you look for people like that, and that are ready to pay. You understand? They are ready to pay and all of that, and they need that service. They have recognized the need. Okay, and you get that. Now, look at this, for example. Now, but when I'm already going through the entrepreneurial aspect, those are some of the things we cover, the details. Okay, how do you identify the right clients and all of those things? But we don't have all of that time now. But let me just show you what to do. And I'm sure you can even figure out the rest, on your own. So if I click share now, I can get the link to this video and copy. Okay, then I'll go into another tool. You find it here. It's called Content Gorilla. Okay, then I paste this link here and I search. So it will bring out that video for me. So this is the video. This is the video now, okay, you see, and I can just click on create posts. Once I click create post, it will generate the transcript for me. Can you see? So it has transcribed that video automatically. Can you see what I was saying about AI? So we are using technology now, we are using artificial intelligence to transcribe. Do you know how long from experience, because we do a lot of transcription, from experience, it will take you at least 6 hours, and no, sorry, at least 6 times of the duration of the audio or video if you want to do manual transcription. So let's say you want to transcribe a 1 hour video. Now it will take you at least 6 hours to transcribe it if you want to do it manually. You know, you want to listen right from experience, and you want to do a good job. It will take you at least 6 hours. It can be more. But now in a few seconds, we have transcribed this. Can you see? This is the content here now. Okay, so this is the content. Now you can now take this content and edit it, because this is a Zoom session. Different people are saying different things. You can't just take the transcript and then you say it has become a book. Do you understand? Do you see where you are creating value now? Now, this tool that I'm showing you even now allows you to make a blog post out of it. You can add picture, image, you can do all of, but that's not what we're showing now. But just to show you, there are a lot of possibilities. Now, if you don't have a tool like this, if you're not able to subscribe to a tool like this, you can even use YouTube itself. Okay, this is YouTube. You can come here to the video and click show transcript. So it will show you the transcript. Okay, to show you the transcript, and then you can copy and paste the transcript into maybe Google Docs or any word processor that works for you, and then you edit that. You understand? You can toggle timestamps so that and then you just select all and you copy. Okay, then you edit and all of that. Do you understand? I'm just showing you the possibilities. Okay. Now you can take this now, copy it into Google Docs or something, and then create quotes from it, create shareable quotes to further promote the content. And we have a template for that, on Canva, that makes it easy for you. You should go to templates.contentlabs.uk/quotes. So you can start with this, at least, you can start with the quote template. It will open a template for you that you can copy, and you can, take content from what you have done. What's happening to my network, to my internet connection? I hope this thing is not. Well, there's a Canva template. I'm wondering why this is not going through now. This is not. Oh, sorry, my connection went off, but we're back now. Okay, I was showing you a template. Let me type it again so that you will see. I will show you a template that, okay, now that you have the content you have transcribed, you can create quotes, okay, from that content, quotes that people will post on their Instagram, that they will post on their WhatsApp status and all of that. So this is a template. If you click use template, okay, to open the template for you, and then you can extract quotes from the transcript. Okay, you can extract quotes from the transcript that you already created, and then that is another way you are creating value. And you charge for all of these things. You say, okay, you have packages that, okay, fine, if I transcribe for you and then I produce 10 quotes for you, then I publish a blog post, okay, that's one package. This is how much you pay. Okay, then if I transcribe 2 messages and this duration, maybe 1 hour, and then you package all of those things. Do you understand? Those details, they are things that you have to think through, and then you see what works for your own client. So this is some of the templates. And let me zoom, because this is not, you see. So you see some of the code templates. So you just copy, and then you put your own content there. You will replace, the details, and all of that. Okay, so those are just some of the things. There are lots of other things, and there are lots of other tools that can make your content development work easier. But I'm just showing you what is possible so that at least you can get started. Okay, and you see where you go from there. Okay, so that's now this same stuff that I just showed you now, the content, you can now edit it into a book, you can edit it into a blog post, you can still use the same Canva to create cover designs, for the book, and then you create an ebook and you sell. Now, if you want to sell this kind of service to someone, for example, don't start by, you put all of your time into it and then nothing comes out, except if you just want to, or, you have made up your mind, you're not interested in making money from it. It's okay. There are some times that you do that for other reasons, which I talked about some of those things in my book, The Connection Principle. You can get it for free on my website, philipamela.org. Now, but if you want to, what you really need is you want to make, you want to make money, and you want to make sure that you are making money from a business, you are creating value. So one of the things you can do, okay, listen to those kind of sessions, transcribe a bit, maybe 5 minutes or maybe 2 minutes or something, and then drop some quotes. All of these things may not take you more than max, maybe 2 hours, and that, that is the investment you are making in your own business, and you share with the person, do you like this, do you like that? Okay, fine. If the person likes it, okay, fine. I'm just doing this for you, as a complimentary service, but you can make a book. You can make a book from this content. Okay, you can publish blog posts regularly from this content. Okay, are you interested? And then you now present your package. Do you understand? So you always lead with value. In fact, there's a formula I'm going to still talk about later. The formula is called CENTRE, CENTRE. Okay, but the C part is talking about creating value. Okay, and you can win clients with that formula any day, anytime. I will share about that in another session. So the C is create value. So you lead with value. You always lead with value. So you create value. Okay, and then from creating value, you build a relationship. You understand, and you keep going like that, and you have a business. I mean, you are in business already. You are making money. You are creating value for people. You are establishing yourself. You are establishing yourself in the industry. Okay, so those are some of the things. The next steps, I've told you, there is going to be a workshop, and the way we do our workshops now is every month we have that workshop every month, or a boot camp. And once you're on Business Mastery Club, you always know which one is next. Then at the beginning of the year, we're going to have a calendar now, so okay, what exactly are we covering in the workshop? So you sign up for the ones that interest you, and we're also going to have on-demand versions of the workshop that you can on demand. You just log in on demand and you watch the entire workshop. Okay, and then we have a support community where you can get the support that you need, where you can practice, where you can work on real life projects and all of that. But you can get all of that information simply once you join Business Mastery Club. If you have any questions, you can also ask there. Okay, for those that are joining live, you can type your questions and comments in the chat. Okay, then we can now take the discussion further on Business Mastery Club. This is the link to join Business Mastery Club. The second item on the screen, connect.tpcl.com.ng/RSVP. The template that I used, that I showed you, that you can use to create codes, you have the link there also. And if you want more training on graphics design, which is a part of content development, okay, how do you make different kinds of graphics? You want to make flyers, for example, you want to make codes, and then just learn some of the basics, of graphics design that you can get started with immediately. There is this training also, it's free. Okay, you can go there and you can get it. Then the workshop I talked about, you find the link here. You can sign up ahead of time, and then you will get notified of you'll get notified once the next edition is going to hold. Okay, usually it's the 3rd week or the 4th week of the month, depending on, some weeks have some weeks have 4 weeks, some have 5 weeks, but usually the Enterprise Development Workshop holds the 3rd weekend, the 3rd weekend or the 4th weekend of the month. Okay, but you get all of the details, you get all of the details on Business Mastery Club. Just go to connect.tpcl.com.ng/RSVP and connect with us there if you are not there already. Okay, then the quotes to think about this week. Giants may be intimidating, but they are not invincible. The very factors that seem to make them fearsome are actually their disadvantage. If the underdogs proceed with insight, courage, and skill, they will take down the giants 100% of the time. Think about that. Whatever is intimidating you, whatever is looking like a giant, is not as invincible as it seems. It's not even invincible at all. Okay, you can take it down. You understand? Okay. Then Andy Crestodina has this to say: it's not the best content that wins, it's the best promoted content that wins. Okay, this is even a line that you can use, when you are prospecting. Okay, when you are speaking with the people you want to do content development. Fine, you are developing great content, but if you don't promote it, you are not going to get as much value. And the service I'm offering to you will help you to promote your content. You understand? Okay, so think about these 2 quotes and see what you can make of them. Let's take a closing prayer. I declare with full assurance of faith that I have a rich, satisfying, and overflowing life. By the grace and mercy of God, I have received wisdom and power to build up vast assets that have continued to generate an abundance of wealth in profits, equity, retainers, consulting fees, dividends, interest, royalty, rental income, residual income, rebates, grants, gifts, annuity, capital gains, and other forms of income. My wealth and riches have continued to increase and multiply exceedingly, so much that accounting for them is like counting the stars in the sky and the sand on the seashore. I daily present my business and career as an altar of sacrifice to God. Therefore, He has blessed the work of my hands, causing me to implement insights and ideas that have made me so successful that nations come to my light and kings to the brightness of my rising. I have become very great and extremely distinguished in every way. Amen. Thank you very much for joining us today. Remember that the replays will always be on the same platform if you are joining us live, and you can also request for the link to the recorded version of Business Mastery Club. Also remember to invite your friends to join us. We do this every week, and you will get a lot of value, okay, if you participate regularly. Thank you very much once again, and bye for now.